Hey everyone, I want you to do something with me. Just close your eyes for a second. Picture this, you're on a space station, orbiting high above Earth. You're holding a small, beautiful crystal in your hand, and it's glowing with an inner light. Suddenly, thousands of miles away, down on Earth, another crystal, its twin, glows at the exact same instant. No signal sent, no delay, just an instant, inexplicable connection. Now, open your eyes. That scenario? It's not science fiction. That's a glimpse into the world of quantum entanglement. And here's the part that hardly anyone tells you: in this grand cosmic setup, you are the crystal. Quantum entanglement is genuinely one of the strangest, most mind-bending discoveries in all of modern physics. It defies everyday logic, breaks all the known rules of time and space as we understand them, and yet, it's absolutely real. Here's generally what happens: two tiny particles, like photons or electrons, interact. And after they've connected, they become entangled. That means even if they're separated by millions of miles, what happens to one instantly affects the other. No signal is sent between them, no energy travels across the space, the connection is just there, as if space and time literally no longer exist between them. Albert Einstein famously hated this idea. He called it spooky action at a distance, because it just didn't make sense with how he believed the universe was supposed to work. But in experiment after experiment, it kept proving itself to be true. But you might be thinking, okay, cool science stuff, but what does this have to do with me? Well, this isn't just about tiny particles in a highly controlled lab. Because if the entire universe is made of energy, and if you are made of that very same energy, then aren't you, by default, already entangled? Entangled with the world around you, with people you've loved, with places you've been, even with thoughts you've thought? This isn't just a metaphor, folks, this is tapping into the underlying physics. The moment two quantum systems interact, they can form a connection that transcends distance. And if we zoom out from that, it implies that everything in this universe might just be part of one giant, interconnected web of entanglement, including your mind, your energy, your intentions. Everything is connected, and it's happening right now. So, let's just shatter the biggest myth of our time right here, the idea that you're somehow separate from the world around you, that your thoughts just stay neatly inside your head, that your emotions don't affect the energetic field. Because the truth is far more magical, far more empowering. You're not just a passive observer of the universe, you are an active participant in a cosmic dance of entangled energy. What you think, what you feel, what you focus on, could very well be affecting everything else, right now. And here's a twist that most people completely miss: quantum entanglement doesn't just work forward in time. It's not bound by the linear cause and effect that we're so used to. Some researchers even believe it may operate entirely outside of our conventional understanding of time. That means the thoughts you think today might actually ripple back to shape moments from your past, and the energy you're feeling right now might be calling in an event that hasn't even technically happened yet in your linear experience. Just let that sink in for a moment. Why does this change everything? Well, what if your next breakthrough, your healing, your big manifestation, is already entangled with you? What if your deepest desire is already connected to a reality that exists somewhere in the quantum field, and all that's missing is your conscious awareness of it? Quantum entanglement isn't just some scientific curiosity, it's like a spiritual technology hidden within the very laws of nature. And once you begin to understand it, you'll never look at your life, your connections, or your potential the same way again. In this video, we're going to break down how this invisible web of energy actually works and, more importantly, how you can start to tap into it to consciously influence the reality around you. But for now, just let this question echo in your mind: what if you're already connected to everything you've ever wanted? You really don't need to be a physicist to feel this, to sense it. You walk into a room, and sometimes, something just shifts, right? Maybe it's the air, maybe it's your intuition, but deep down, you know something invisible is happening. Science used to ignore these kinds of feelings, but now, it's actually starting to listen. So, what is really happening? Let's simplify quantum entanglement even further. Imagine you have two special coins. You flip one in New York, and at the exact same instant, the other coin, all the way in Tokyo, lands showing the exact same result, heads or tails, as if they were somehow sharing the same mind. That's essentially what quantum physicists observed with particles like photons. When these particles become entangled, their states, things like their spin, direction, or polarity, become linked. If you measure or touch one, the other reacts instantly. Now, here's the part that really bends reality. That connection doesn't fade with distance. You could separate these entangled particles by miles, or even light years across galaxies, and they'll still behave as if they're fundamentally one. There's no physical wire connecting them, no detectable signal traveling between them, and yet, somehow, they know. Back in 1982, a French physicist named Alain Aspect led a groundbreaking experiment that changed everything. He and his team split pairs of entangled photons and sent them in opposite directions over significant distances. When one photon was measured, its entangled partner adjusted its state instantly, faster than the speed of light could account for a signal. According to classical physics, this shouldn't be possible. But it was. And it forced scientists to seriously reconsider some of the most basic assumptions about reality itself. What if information doesn't always travel through space, but what if, on some level, space itself is an illusion of separation? What if connection isn't something that's created, but something that already fundamentally exists? Thousands of years ago, spiritual masters and ancient traditions were already speaking of this deep interconnectedness. Buddha said, "All things are connected." The Vedas described the universe as a woven net, with each part vibrating in harmony with the whole. Even Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you." And today, science is finally catching up. David Bohm, a renowned quantum physicist who actually worked alongside Einstein, proposed that the universe isn't made of separate, distinct parts, but rather of a deeper, implicate order, an invisible, enfolded field where everything is already connected. You could call it divine intelligence, or source, or the quantum field. But whatever name you choose, the underlying principle is the same: separation is the illusion, connection is the fundamental truth. So, how does this shape your reality? This is where it gets really personal. If the particles in your body are potentially entangled with particles all across the universe, and if your thoughts and emotions are also patterns of energy, then every single shift in your inner world could, in theory, echo throughout this entire field. This means your joy isn't isolated. Your fear isn't silent. Your intention, no matter how small it may seem, creates a ripple. Have you ever thought of someone, and then seconds later, they called you? Or dreamed about something, and then saw it happen the very next day? It's not just coincidence. It might very well be entangled resonance, a tuning of frequencies across what we perceive as space and time. And it gets even deeper. When two particles are entangled, their behavior isn't random in relation to each other, it's synchronized. Now, ask yourself, what if your mind could synchronize with the frequency of abundance, of love, of profound healing? What if the key to manifesting isn't about chasing things down, but about tuning your own frequency? Because the field isn't judging you. It isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It's simply responding to your signal. And the clearer, the more coherent that signal is, the faster reality seems to shift. So, no, quantum entanglement isn't just about subatomic particles, it's about the very fabric of consciousness itself. It's about recognizing that you are not alone in some vast, empty void. You are a node in a living, breathing web of intelligence. And when you learn how to work with that web, life stops feeling so random and starts feeling beautifully aligned. Just take a deep breath right now. As you're listening to this, your heart is beating. But have you ever really asked yourself what makes it beat? Yes, biology explains the mechanics, the physical processes. But who, or what, is orchestrating the rhythm of your life, your breath, your thoughts, even the uncanny coincidences that led you here, to this exact moment, listening to these words? The truth is, from this perspective, nothing is truly random. Everything is connected. In the Western world, especially, we've been conditioned to see ourselves as separate entities. You are here, and the world is out there. But this belief, this pervasive illusion of separation, is perhaps the greatest misunderstanding of all. Because beneath what your physical senses perceive, there is an invisible web of energy, constantly vibrating, shifting, exchanging information. Your body, your emotions, the people around you, even the events in your life, they're all entangled in this grand, intricate tapestry of consciousness. Let's return to physics for just a moment. David Bohm, who I mentioned earlier, one of the most respected quantum theorists of the 20th century, proposed something truly radical, that the universe is not merely a collection of separate objects existing in space. Instead, he suggested it's more like a hologram, where every single part, no matter how small, contains the information of the whole. Just like a tiny drop of water can reflect the entire ocean, you, in essence, carry the entire field within you. This is what Bohm called the implicate order, a hidden, enfolded layer of reality where everything is fundamentally interconnected, and where our common notions of time and space are just surface illusions. You've probably heard of the butterfly effect, the idea that a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil could theoretically start a chain of events leading to a tornado in Texas. This isn't just some poetic metaphor, it's a reflection of quantum sensitivity in an interconnected field. Every vibration, every thought, every choice you make matters. When you shift your energy, even slightly, the entire field begins to rearrange itself in response. You might not see the results immediately in your physical reality, but make no mistake, reality is listening. And this isn't a new idea, not by a long shot. Indigenous cultures, yogis, mystics, they all knew this in their own ways. They spoke of the dreamtime, the earth's dreaming, the akasha, the great spirit that connects all living beings. What's different now is that science is finally, and powerfully, catching up. Lynn McTaggart's extensive studies on intention, for instance, have shown that focused thought can influence physical systems like water, plants, and even random number generators. Greg Braden talks about how our heart's electromagnetic field extends meters beyond our physical body and demonstrably affects others around us. And Dr. Joe Dispenza's research clearly demonstrates that your internal state, when changed profoundly, can trigger what appear to be external miracles. The field is not outside you, you are the field. And your life is the ongoing expression of what you're broadcasting into it. You don't just passively observe reality, you actively shape it. Here's something to reflect on: when you enter a room, the energy of that room changes. When you speak a deeply felt truth, it echoes in ways you might not even realize. When you genuinely feel love, it's possible that someone, somewhere, feels a little lighter. You are not a passive observer of life, you are a co-creator of the whole magnificent experience. And when you begin to truly see yourself this way, as a vibrating center of consciousness, intricately woven into the very fabric of existence, you start to move differently, think differently, and yes, manifest differently. And this leads to a profound realization: nothing is ever truly lost. Think about someone you've lost, a friend, a love, perhaps even a version of yourself from the past. Quantumly speaking, from this entangled perspective, they're not gone. Their energy still dances in the field. Their essence, their imprint, is still connected to yours. Because in a truly connected universe, nothing is ever truly separate, and therefore, nothing is ever truly gone. This isn't just meant to be comforting, it's incredibly empowering. Because it means that healing, connection, and creation are never really out of reach. They are already present, entangled with your awareness, just waiting to be felt, to be realized again. So, the next time you feel alone, remember this: you are not merely a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. And you were never truly disconnected, you just forgot. But now, you're remembering. And with that remembering comes immense power. There often comes a moment in life, maybe it's happening for you now, where something just shifts, not outside you, but deep within. You start to realize, maybe I'm not here just to survive. Maybe I'm here to create, to expand, to remember that part of me that's always known there's something more, and that it's already mine. That shift, that inner awakening, is what we can call quantum awareness. And once it's activated, your potential becomes truly limitless. Let's go even deeper with this. Your thoughts don't just stay locked inside your head, they are waves, they are frequencies that constantly interact with the quantum field. And this field, it responds not to your words alone, but to your underlying vibration. That's why two people can say the exact same affirmation, and one manifests their desire while the other doesn't see any change. It's not just about what you say, it's about how deeply aligned you are with the frequency of what you desire. Quantum awareness means you stop seeing life as something that's just happening to you, and you begin to see it as something that's happening through you. Because in this vast field of infinite possibilities, you are both the receiver and the transmitter. Let's dip back into physics for a second. In the famous double-slit experiment, scientists discovered something absolutely shocking: particles behave differently when they are being observed. Without observation, light, for example, behaves like a wave, spread out, undefined, full of potential. But the moment you observe it, it collapses into a particle, a fixed position in space. In other words, your awareness, your observation, determines reality on a fundamental level. Now, this isn't just about particles in a lab, this is about your life. When you observe your desires with clarity, with unwavering belief, and with genuine emotion, you help to collapse that wave of potential into a manifested outcome. This is the true secret of manifestation: what you consistently give your focused energy to becomes real. Your potential was never locked away, it was just forgotten, unobserved. Most people walk through life as if they're powerless. They say things like, "Oh, that's just the way it is," or "I can't change that," or "I'm just not lucky like other people." But this isn't truth, this is programming. From childhood, we're taught limitations, what to believe, what's possible for us, who we're allowed to be. But those beliefs, they primarily live in the subconscious mind. And that's where real, lasting change begins. Because your subconscious is your direct access point to the quantum field. It's the interface between your internal world and your external results. And the more aware you become of what's running beneath the surface, the more conscious, and therefore more powerful, your creations become. Here's a powerful truth to really let sink in: you don't manifest what you merely want, you manifest what you are in resonant alignment with. If you want love but you're carrying deep-seated fear, you'll likely attract mirrors of that fear. If you want abundance but you're vibrating in a state of lack, you'll inadvertently block what's already trying to reach you. So, how do you shift this? By becoming acutely aware of your frequency, your dominant thoughts, emotions, and expectations, moment by moment, and then consciously choosing to tune into the energy of the reality you desire before it actually arrives. Not waiting for external proof, but becoming the proof yourself. Because in the quantum field, you go first, the universe responds second. Quantum awareness doesn't mean your life will suddenly be perfect or without challenges. It means you realize that everything is feedback. Every delay, every block, every synchronicity, it's all data from the field, showing you precisely what you're currently aligned with. It's not punishment, it's not luck, it's simply vibration. And that, you can shift. When you remember that your emotions are energy, that your beliefs are like blueprints, and that your focus is a potent creative force, you stop just reacting to life, you start consciously designing it. And this is the beginning of true, authentic power. It's one thing to understand quantum entanglement intellectually, it's another thing entirely to live from that understanding. When you walk through life knowing that everything is connected, knowing that every thought is planting a seed, that every intention is activating a ripple in the field, you begin to move differently. You stop forcing things and start aligning with them. You stop constantly asking, when will it happen, and you start focusing on, who am I becoming? Because when your internal world shifts into a state of coherence, your external world has no choice but to follow suit. Right now, as you listen to these words, you are already tuning your field, already awakening dormant codes of memory, power, and purpose within you. This is not just a theory, this is your inherent design. And once you begin to live in harmony with it, you don't just unlock your potential, you actively embody it. Take a moment to really think about this. What if you've already been manifesting your entire life, but not from your conscious desires, but rather from your subconscious programs? Just let that sink in. Because while your conscious mind dreams, affirms, and visualizes, it's your subconscious that ultimately decides what actually becomes real in your experience. Your subconscious is the quantum access point. Here's the thing most people don't fully realize. Your subconscious mind controls about 95% of your daily behavior. It's the silent autopilot running your thoughts, your decisions, your emotional reactions. And it's been shaped by everything in your past, your childhood experiences, the beliefs you inherited, your personal traumas, even your cultural conditioning. But here's the catch, the quantum field doesn't respond to your fleeting wishes, it responds to your dominant frequency. And your dominant frequency is largely set by your subconscious programming. So, if your subconscious believes, deep down, that you're not worthy of love, you'll unconsciously push it away or attract situations that confirm that unworthiness. If it holds a core belief in scarcity, you'll likely sabotage opportunities for abundance without even realizing it. If it expects pain, you'll tend to attract situations that confirm that very expectation. Not because you're cursed, but because you're deeply entangled with that particular belief system. Think of every belief you hold as a distinct radio signal you're constantly sending out into the quantum field. You don't even have to say anything, your vibration speaks for you. So, the crucial question becomes, what are you broadcasting when you're not consciously thinking about it? When you're brushing your teeth, when you're mindlessly scrolling through your phone, when you're drifting off to sleep? That's when your subconscious is often at its loudest, and that's when you're powerfully imprinting the field. This is why so many people feel stuck. They might be doing all the right things, affirmations, vision boards, meditations, but nothing significant seems to be shifting in their outer world. That's because they're often working on the surface level, while the real, powerful programming runs deep underneath. But here's the really good news. You can change it. Thanks to the incredible discovery of neuroplasticity, we now know that the brain is not fixed, it can and does rewire itself based on repetition, strong emotion, and new experiences. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this firing and wiring. Every time you feel a new, elevated emotion, like gratitude, joy, or love, while simultaneously imagining a new reality, you're literally creating new neural pathways in your brain and sending a new, coherent signature into the field. The more you feel it as real, the more real it becomes. This is where modern science beautifully meets ancient sacred wisdom. Neville Goddard, a profound teacher from the last century, taught to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Not because it's just wishful thinking, but because your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what's vividly imagined and emotionally felt, and what's actually real. So, let me share some practical tools for this kind of subconscious alignment. Here are 3 simple but incredibly powerful methods. Sparkle's sleep state reprogramming. Your subconscious is most open and receptive right before you fall asleep and just as you're waking up. This is the perfect time to listen to guided affirmations, vividly visualize your desired reality, or even script your future in a journal as if it has already happened. When you're sleeping, especially during certain phases, your brain is often in theta wave states, a frequency of deep suggestibility and profound connection to the quantum field. Sparkle's elevated emotions plus visualization. It's not enough to just see the life you want in your mind's eye, you absolutely must feel it in your body. Joy, gratitude, love, certainty, empowerment, these are the energetic currencies of manifestation. When you can genuinely feel as if your desire is already real, the field mirrors that state back to you. Sparkle's rewrite core beliefs. Identify a limiting belief that you suspect is holding you back. Ask yourself, where did I learn this? Is it really true? Then, consciously flip it. For example, I'm not good enough becomes, I am divinely designed and inherently equipped to thrive. Repeat this new belief, feel it deeply, and begin to live from it. Remember, quantum entanglement, in this personal sense, starts from within. Let's bring this full circle. Quantum entanglement isn't just about particles connecting across vast distances of space, it's about you reconnecting with the forgotten, more powerful parts of yourself. Because when your subconscious mind is truly aligned with your conscious desires, you create an incredibly clear, coherent signal in the quantum field. And in that clarity, manifestation often becomes effortless, not because you forced an outcome, but because you became vibrationally entangled with the version of you who already has it. There is no inherent separation between what you believe and what you experience. There is no fundamental delay in the quantum field, only alignment. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg. You just have to tune in. Your subconscious mind is not a prison, it's a portal. And once you learn to master it, you begin to master the matrix of your own reality. You've always felt it, haven't you? That quiet pull, that deep inner knowing that there's something more, something just beneath the surface of your everyday life, something powerful inside you that's been waiting patiently to be remembered. This isn't just your intuition playing tricks on you, it's what we can call entangled awareness. And once you truly awaken it, you unlock a flow of energy, of potential, that was never truly gone, only dormant. The profound realization that you're not separate from your future, you are intimately entangled with it. You are made of the very same particles that built galaxies. The same atoms that form the stars also form your skin, your brain, your heart. So, tell me, do you really still believe you're limited? Because when you wake up to your entangled awareness, you begin to draw energy from a much deeper, more fundamental source, not just from food, not just from sleep, but from the quantum field itself. Every time you meditate, you quiet the mental noise and open a space for that universal energy to flow more freely. Every time you genuinely feel gratitude, you expand your magnetic field and send out a powerful signal of coherence into the cosmos. Every time you choose presence over conditioned reaction, you break the chain of old patterns and plug back into the realm of infinite possibility. This is not philosophy, this is practical. This is for your daily life. Right now, in the quantum field, there are infinite versions of you already existing. The healed you, the abundant you, the magnetic and joyful you, the one who lives in perfect alignment with purpose, joy, and effortless flow. These are not just fantasies, they are entangled timelines, real potentials, waiting to be activated by your chosen frequency. And how do you access them? Through conscious awareness, through energetic alignment, through. Here's how people all over the world are using this understanding of entangled awareness to transform their realities. Sparkles healing. People are recovering from chronic illnesses by vividly visualizing their future healthy self and consciously tuning into that frequency daily. Their bodies, being part of this entangled field, begin to follow the energy. Sparkles manifesting relationships. By letting go of desperation and stepping into the vibration of wholeness and self-love, people are attracting aligned, soulful connections, not by force, but by resonant entrainment. Sparkles wealth and purpose. Entrepreneurs and creators are collapsing time by embodying the version of themselves who already has the impact and success they dream of. And the quantum field responds by opening paths that logical planning could never have foreseen. This isn't magic in the way we usually think of it. It's alignment. It's entrainment. It's quantum. Here's something you can do today, right now. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Slow everything down. Visualize your highest self, the version of you who already lives your most desired reality. Truly feel what they feel. Not just the images, but the emotions, the energy, the certainty. Merge with them. Let their energy become your energy. Let your nervous system believe it's already done. Do this every day, not to get something, but to become someone. Because when you fundamentally change your energy, your reality has no choice but to reorganize around that new signal. There is a part of you, a silent, eternal part, that has never been afraid, never been lost, never been broken. That part of you is intrinsically entangled with all life, with every star in the sky, with every heart that's ever loved, with every future you've ever dared to dream of. And the moment you remember that, you return to your innate power. Because your true self doesn't chase, it attracts. It aligns. It knows. You are not a mistake in the universe, you are a vital message from it. You are the observer and the observed, the creator and the created, the signal and the receiver. Now is the time to remember, to reclaim, to realign, to rise. If this message resonated with something deep inside you, if something just clicked even if you can't quite explain it logically, then comment below, I am entangled with infinite possibility. Let the universe see your signal. Let the field feel your shift. And if you want to go even deeper into this awakening, make sure to watch this next video. Your journey has just begun, and the field is already responding.